Welcome back to Jedi Enclave. I'm Daniel.
I'm Chris.
And we're just two lonely nerds floating about in the universe, but now we're kind of happy because now we have a Star Wars trailer.
Yeah, we're less lonely than usual because we have Star Wars to keep us warm.
In fact, today we got to talk to some friends from our Facebook page, which you should go like. It's Jedi Enclave on Facebook. You should also subscribe to our YouTube channel here and make sure that you drop us a like and do some comments and talk about Star Wars with us. So the big news today is that the final trailer for Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker dropped during a football game, which I think is a ploy to make Star Wars fans watch football.
Basically, yeah.
But we got around that by not watching football, and we just watched it on YouTube.
Yep.
We win. You lose. So we're going to go through this trailer a little bit, talk about what we've seen, what we heard, what the word on the street is, and then we will have a series of videos after this with some more detailed analysis and some Easter eggs and so on and so forth. And Chris will jump in here like he always does when he needs to. And this trailer opens up with a little bit of action. There is what appears to be a blast shield helmet that drops to the ground, and Rey is running and then is fired at by a training remote.
Yep, I was going to say specifically, this looks like the scene in the D23 footage where she's in the jungle throwing her lightsaber and having a training montage.
Yeah, right. I think you're right there.
But is this Yavin 4? Is this Endor? Is this a planet we've never been to?
There were a couple of shots that I saw on this planet that look super Yavin 4. And, we don't know. Star Wars has a thing about making one planet, one entire climate all around. Like there's a forest planet, and then there's an ice planet, and there's a sand planet, and they all kind of start to look the same a little bit. So this could be Yavin 4. It could be something totally new. We don't really know.
Who knows?
Yeah, but she is absolutely training. And the question here that we have that we'll explore later is she training from Leia, or is Luke kind of floating about teaching her, or is she doing stuff she read about in the Jedi books? She's like, oh, I'll try that one.
Yeah,
and then tries a flip or something. Who knows? Next, I guess
she goes to jump across a chasm.
Yeah.
And then there's a really cool editing trick, and she lands on some metal inside a big thing of wreckage.
Yeah, it's proof that this trailer generally has some breathtaking editing. The people that worked on this trailer did a good job. This is how you do a trailer. You don't need really super obnoxious Hans Zimmer like, bah. Yeah, like you don't need that in your trailer. You have good music, you have good cuts, and you have a trailer that gets everyone super excited. That particular jump is really cool. She starts out on, she jumps over a cliff and lands on some ship parts. I wasn't sure if that was the Death Star or like a different part of it. It looked a little
I think it is. It looks similar. The color and shading is similar to what we see of the Death Star later in the trailer.
Yeah.
But let's keep going.
Yeah, she looks excited as fuck too. All right, next we have Finn looking a little worried. He had just taken some binoculars down from his face. He probably just sees something that worries him a little bit.
It looks to me like he's on the same jungle planet that Rey is on. Like it's very golden because there's like a sunset going on or something, but you can see like green foliage behind him.
I disagree. We'll talk about this in a different video, but I think this is the planet where he meets Janna.
Okay.
I think those landscapes match a little bit better. Then you see Rey running across the cliff on the not Yavin 4 planet. Who knows if it's Yavin 4 or not.
Jungle Planet Z.
Right. Next shot is a super secret resistance meeting. And if you look real carefully, you'll see our man Lando Calrissian.
Billy D. Williams himself.
The master of sex appeal, Billy D. Williams, is right in the middle of that meeting.
He stands out because he's the only one wearing yellow.
Yeah, he's wearing the same outfit from Solo, Star Wars Story. It's like my favorite outfit from him.
Who wore it better, Billy D. Williams or Donald Glover?
Donald Glover. I mean, the dude's sexy as fuck. Like,
okay, fair.
But Billy D. Williams, a very close second. All I'm saying is I'd probably still tap that.
Fair.
So next we have a shot of Rose and our favorite Hobbit, played by Dominic Monaghan.
Oh, is that Merry or Pippin?
It's Pippin, I think.
Okay.
I can't remember. They look, I don't know, they're hot. That's probably really racist. But they all kind of look the same to me. He's also,
dude.
Yeah, he's also from Lost, not Penny's Boat. If you heard what I just said, you know what I mean, you know what I mean. You got to be in that club.
Anyway.
And then I don't know, they're talking about something. a nice shot of Poe, Finn, and Chewie standing in front of an X-wing with an orange finish. Probably the one that didn't like his replacement.
Yeah,
Poe's
I was gonna say, that's Poe's X-wing, right?
Yeah, I mean, unless it's Chewie's, I don't know how the fuck he'd fit in it. This next shot, like when I saw it the first time, it made my heart like go, and it's what I believe.
Corellian Corvette flying above that jungle planet.
Well, I believe it actually specifically is a Tantive V4 that from A New Hope. I don't know how they recovered it.
I was gonna say, like, because I believe in the old expanded universe, like they destroyed it shortly after it was captured. I don't know if that's still the case.
Well, I always thought that they were like no survivors. We never saw the ship blown up.
Yeah, exactly. They got rid of it so that they didn't have to worry about any of that shit.
It's J.J. Abrams. Anything could happen. It's got the red finish on it, and it pulls this really cool maneuver, and it's just, the shot is gorgeous. You can tell J.J. Abrams is a master of telling stories without dialogue, and like that shot is just beautiful. Next shot is Rey on the Death Star wreckage on whatever water planet this is. Probably is Endor.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Endor.
I don't know what else it would be, unless it's like a big head fake and is like the first Death Star. And Palpatine was like, no, I don't want this shitty Death Star. I'm going to go attach myself.
I want the first one that I was never actually on.
Right. And you see some machinery on it. It looks like she's kind of standing right in front of a turret. A turret.
She's doing her angry face.
Yep. The next, one of my other really favorite shots of the scene,
big wave hits the wreckage.
Yep. And it's just like a wall of mist and water. And you see a dark shadow figure come out of it, and
with a red lightsaber.
And it's our boy Kylo Ren, and he is there to kick ass. He looks pretty mad.
I want to give big ups to Adam Driver for being able to keep his Kylo face on, even when his hair is completely plastered to his head.
Yeah,
he looks ridiculous, but he also looks very angry.
Yeah. So I also want to say. There's some dialogue while this is happening. The first part of this, there are pieces of dialogue that are shared between Finn, Poe, and Rey. Finn says, "It's an instinct, a feeling the Force brought us together," which makes me wonder. It's an instinct, a feeling. Like, I'm starting to wonder maybe if they're going to go back to the original idea of Finn being Force sensitive. I don't know. Poe says, "We're not alone. Good people will fight if we lead them." And Rey, right as this shot on the Death Star, says, "People keep telling me they know me. No one does." And it's like the most emo teenager bullshit in the world. But I mean, if anyone had the right to say it, like, Rey is probably it feels like she is the most misunderstood, person in the world. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, she's a scavenger from Jakku, and now she's becoming the savior of the galaxy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Next shot.
You left out Kylo's response to her.
Did I? Oh yeah. So
Rey says, "People say they know me, that no one does."
Kylo says, "But I do," which is
also very emo teenager.
Indeed, it also mirrors a little bit of what he says to her in The Last Jedi, right before they played tug of war with the lightsaber. He says, "You're no one. You mean nothing, but not to me." Mm-hmm. So he's got a boner for Rey. Like I've maintained since Force Awakens that Kylo is in love with Rey, and I think it would be the best storytelling in the world for them not to have a prince and princess ending, have him really want her, but her be like, "Fuck no."
Yeah, I don't think she likes him at all. I think she's disgusted by him.
Yeah, I'm sure she's very conflicted. There's some stuff from Last Jedi that makes me think that she might have been thinking about it for a second when like they touch hands and stuff. Because I mean, Adam Driver. Looks real good without a shirt on.
I kind of feel like any sort of relationship from Rey's point of view is more like, okay, let's try and pull him back from the brink so that he's not so freaking dark,
and he'll be hotter, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen what the dark side does to men. It's not very pretty.
Yeah, I think that you're right. That that last shot in Last Jedi of her closing the Falcon door. She's looking at him, and I don't think she looks disgusted, but she has this look of like the worst. No, I think like the worst kind of pity. Like, there's like that raw, you poor creature, and just hits.
Look what you've done to yourself.
Yeah. Next shot, a metric shit ton of TIE fighters flying toward an iceberg or something. I don't really know what it is. I'll take a closer look and we'll talk about it in a following video. I do see a reflection.
And immediately after that, there's what looks like a big stone throne with some sort of tribal carvings with a bunch of like wooden or stone spikes growing out of it.
Looks pretty Sithy.
Yeah, and compounding this, there's some dialogue from our boy Darth Sidious himself.
Long have I waited, and now your coming together is your undoing, which says a lot.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of information in that piece of dialogue. It sounds like we better brace ourselves for a Kylo Ren and Rey team up. That doesn't mean that they're going to get together or have babies, but at some point it sounds like they might join forces against him.
What if Palpatine does his little shriek, jump, spin over the desk again?
It's treason then. Yeah, I would take it.
Unlimited power!
This looks like we'll talk about another shot later that looks like it's from the same location. And I think there's only one guy in the world that sits on that chair.
I think so. Too.
Yeah.
Very next shot, there's what looks like a Star Destroyer, like rising,
a Death Star coming out of a planet.
Yeah, like it's rising out of the ground. Like what's coming off of it?
It's
like,
ice, I think.
Okay, it's rising from something, sure, and it looks more solid than liquid, so I don't think it's coming out of water. It might be ice, it might be dirt. Who knows? Also looks like there's a lightning striking it somehow.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like it's from the same scene in the trailer that we've already seen with the lightning and the ice and everything. It looks like it's been in cold storage for quite a long time.
Cold storage,
yeah.
Yes.
I think someone went down there and flipped a switch and was like, okay, we're taking this bitch out. Let's go. And it comes out.
Yeah.
The next shot was in a TV spot that aired on ESPN the day that the trailer aired, which is today, but for you, if you're watching this, was who the fuck knows when it was. The Millennium Falcon swooping in right in front of a collage of other ships. One of them, I'm almost certain, is the Ghost from Star Wars Rebels.
That's interesting and possibly even significant.
Yes. And when we do our like close breakdown, we'll talk about the different ships in it and stuff.
Do you think we see the crew from Rebels in this movie?
I think we'll at least see a character.
Which one?
Hera. I mean, she was the pilot of Ghost in the first place. If they wanted to go super meta or super like they really want to smash some fans' faces in, they'll show Ahsoka Tano and Sabine Wren.
I don't think you can have Ahsoka in this movie.
Not without her fighting.
Without her fighting,
but being a main character.
Yeah, but like, what does that mean for Rey and the character arc she's had over this trilogy?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't think that would be really stupid to put her in it. Yeah. Maybe just Sabine then.
Maybe
because she would look really cool with live action because of her costume and shit. Next shot we saw in the trailer for the trailer, which by the way, that's a thing we do now. We have trailers for trailers.
That's how we live.
Rey looking over at Chewie like they have an inside joke right as Poe walks in. I think, okay, so everyone's talking about Reylo and everything. I think it's going to be Poe and Rey.
Really?
I think they would make beautiful babies. I think that this kind of maybe hints at like he walks in and Chewie looks over at her like, there you go, there he is.
I think if Poe has any sort of endgame relationship here, it should be Finn.
I agree. That's what I would really want to have happen, but someone would call me an SJW and then yell at me. That's fine. Next shot, Kylo and Rey fighting their little hearts out on the Star Destroyer.
Death Star,
the Death Star. I'm gonna mix those up a lot. The next shot, something seems to be exploding in the foreground with a Star Destroyer overlooking. It's hard to tell from the scale what this is. Could be a planet, could be a ship. I swear to fucking God, if we have another planet-killing machine, I'm gonna scream. Anyway,
yeah.
I don't want to draw conclusions too early.
Going. There's what looks like a makeshift sort of ship or craft of some kind.
Like water skiff.
Yeah, going over the water towards the Death Star wreckage.
I think from one of the later shots, I think this is probably Finn trying to get to Rey. And then the next part was like the big thing that well, not the. There were a couple of big things in this trailer.
This is the tearjerker.
One of the things, Poe asks 3PO in like his sexy as fuck Poe way.
So, what are you doing?
Yeah, and 3PO says, "Taking one last look, sir, at my friends."
Aww.
And Anthony Daniels, as hammy as he can be in real life, is the perfect voice for C-3PO. And every time I hear him say anything as 3PO, my little heart melts. In one of the shots, there's another. We'll talk about that in our like extreme breakdown. So it seems like something's happening to 3PO. Mm-hmm. We have a shot of Chewie talking to Finn, I think. Yep. And then somewhere in here, Luke starts saying, "Confronting fear is the destiny of the Jedi. Your destiny, the Force will be with you."
Who does he say that to?
That's a good point. I think the easy answer is that Luke's going to be the teacher on Rey's shoulder.
Mm-hmm. So the obvious answer is Rey.
Right.
What if it's Kylo?
I think it has to.
What if that's part of Kylo's redemption journey?
I think that maybe this line of dialogue exactly isn't for Kylo, but he's going to be talking to Kylo too. When he said "see you around, kid," he meant it.
Third option: what if he's talking to Leia?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I got a little bit of a shiver there.
Yeah. Also, fourth comedy option: what if he's talking to Poe?
Yeah.
Because he's Force sensitive now, apparently.
Well, no. He's not that we know of yet. There's a comic that came out that takes place right after the Battle of Crate, like as they're driving off, and Poe says something about well, if I was Force sensitive, I would know it, and like Leia sticks her head around the corner and was like, "No, you wouldn't." And it seems to be like it's a little hint that maybe he could be Force sensitive. It would not surprise me at all if he was. And I would love that. I would love it if Finn and Poe are both Force sensitive and they are Rey's Jedi acolytes.
That seems a little too coincidental for me.
Maybe.
Because like earlier on our live stream, we were talking about how if everybody is like related to this small circle of people who all know each other, the galaxy feels very, very small when it's supposed to have trillions upon trillions of people.
Maybe.
I just feel like it's okay to not have non-Force sensitive main characters. Like Han Solo did great.
Yeah.
Until he got stabbed by his own son, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. Then his day got fucked up.
Yeah.
All right. So this next shot, it looks like it's something from what is probably going to be one of my favorite parts of the movie. And it's Poe and Finn and Chewie just fucking shit up, which I think is on a Star Destroyer or something.
Yeah, they're running and gunning through something that looks Imperial or First Order or something bad.
Mark my words. That sequence is going to be epic as fuck.
I think it's going to be I think it's going to be like in the third act, interspersed with like two other conflicts that are happening.
Kind of like Return of the Jedi?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would dig that. Here's another what if, just based on what I see here. Mm-hmm. What if the big character deaths that we get in this movie are Finn, Poe, and Chewie? Maybe together, they're on the ship, they have to blow it up. There's only one way to do it, kind of like Armageddon or something, and they make the decision there together. They're like, we got to do this. Like this is bigger than us, and they blow the whole thing up.
And right before they do, Poe and Finn kiss. Chewie roars and hits the button.
Chewie's jerking off. Yeah. Okay.
And they all died.
We probably shouldn't put that in the actual. We'll put it in the podcast. We're gonna put that in the video. YouTube will be pissed.
Yeah.
Next shot is footage that we've seen already. Carrie Fisher, possibly the only woman I've ever loved, hugging Rey. Looks like it's footage from The Force Awakens that's being reworked for the film. Now, so we're going to talk about this dialogue next. It doesn't necessarily happen here in the trailer, but right as Luke is saying, "The Force will be with you," Leia answers, "Always."
Yep, I thought that was a very nice touch.
Yeah.
It's a good way to work Carrie Fisher's limited ability to appear in this movie into it. So
we see our characters on a sand skiff. running from the First Order. And it looks like it's from that same planet where Rey does the cool force flip over the TIE fighter, and it's called Pisana. There's some tribe is having this big celebration, and what it looks like is that in an effort to throw the stormtroopers off, BB-8 has this brilliant idea, hits a canister of firework gas or whatever,
or something,
they're shooting up in the sky at them to kind of obscure their escape. And next frame is everyone being super happy about it.
Woo!
Yeah, like they got away with it.
It's a nice shot of Billy D. Williams and Chewbacca in the Falcon's cockpit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've seen this before. It's from a slightly different angle, but man, he looks like he's having a lot of fun.
Yeah, Lando is so happy to be there.
Billy D. Williams. God damn, Billy D. Williams. This next one, a Y-Wing. I can't tell if it's old school or maybe something newer. Blowing some TIE fighters up. Looks like it might be riding right for the main hold of that Star Destroyer.
Who knows?
Could be like a... what is that movie?
Independence Day,
yeah. Yeah,
The words of my generation, up yours.
Did I? Okay, so this will be for the podcast, but have you ever heard that actor's story?
I don't think so.
You should check it out. It's fucking crazy. I think he's in Canada right now seeking asylum. Or he was at some point for sure, because the United States government wanted to arrest him.
Really?
For like fraud or something.
Huh.
He's insane.
I need you to like back away from the microphone a little bit because they're giving a lot of plosives and they're peaking a lot.
Is this better?
Yeah.
I have a thing.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Just keep going.
So this next shot...
Speaking of Star Destroyers, it looks like they're like... There's a bunch of resistance fighters. They're riding these like furry horse-like things with tusks, and it looks like they're on top of a Star Destroyer, just kind of running across it and fighting. Something weird is going on there.
In the vacuum of space?
Maybe they're in a weird planet environment.
Well, no, I think they're on a Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. It looks like it's cool as fuck, though.
Yeah, they're having the time of their lives. It's a shot of Rey and Kylo Ren in what looks like the wreckage of the throne room from the second Death Star.
I think it's safe to say that it is.
Yeah.
I don't know what else it would be.
I don't know if this is significant or not, but only Rey has her lightsaber turned on.
Because she knows.
Maybe because Kylo is going there trying to talk to her?
Yeah,
Maybe he doesn't want to fight her this time?
Maybe he's just a little slow these days and just hasn't turned it on yet.
Maybe.
This next shot looks like it connects with one of the shots earlier with Rey and Kylo fighting on the Death Star wreckage. Finn screaming her name.
Yeah, he's running across it.
Yeah,
very clearly bothered by something.
Yeah, he's pretty bothered. Okay, so this next one is one of those shots that people are going to be talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It appears to me like it is Rey and Kylo swinging at the display that Kylo had of Vader's helmet.
That rests on the ashes of his enemies.
Yeah, because he wanted to be more emo, which I think that's got to be like the Jedi students that he killed.
I feel like that's not emo at that point. It's like almost looping around into like Viking territory.
Just fucked up.
Yeah, just like drinking wine from the skulls of your enemies.
Yeah. Oh, that's a very Game of Thrones thing.
Hold on one second. Adjust this. Can you talk for me?
1, 2, 3. Do, mi, re, fa.
Okay, you're good.
Okay. All right, so this next shot seems to be connected to that other shot where they're running on top of a Star Destroyer.
Yeah, it looks like it's the same horse-looking things they're riding on.
Yeah, that's a bad guy ship. They're shooting green lasers.
Yep.
A really nice darkened shot of Kylo kind of turning to regard something and then walking toward it. Not much to say there.
Mm-hmm.
More horses on Star Destroyers. And then probably the shot from this trailer that people will be talking about the most.
Yes. There's Rey standing there. It looks like she's on that ice planet from before, maybe?
Or wherever that throne is.
Yeah. There's, on the left side of this picture, there's like some sort of metallic techie thing. And then right in front of it, you can just see the sort of the outline from behind of like a hood and a shoulder of like a black cloak.
Mm-hmm.
And there are very few people in the Star Wars universe that can pull off a black cloak.
And sitting on a chair.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing, and I'm going to talk about this in one of our future videos. They cut these trailers to mislead the people watching them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, look, if our first thought is, oh, that's Palpatine, there's a good chance that that's not what it is. Also, remember that Disney loves to alter their trailers.
Absolutely.
So who the fuck knows what is actually in that shot or who is in that robe?
Does that shot appear in the finished movie?
I don't think that there's going to be a lot that doesn't appear. I think they'll probably use most of the shots that we see, especially that. That seems to be like a pretty important part of the movie.
I feel like you could show that exact same scene from like over Rey's shoulder and not lose too much.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I mean
maybe have like a big panning.
So that shot, you mean maybe not that exact shot? Yeah, sure. Yeah, they might not use that shot. But there's a reason I think that we didn't see Palpatine's face in this trailer, because I think that that might not be what it seems to everyone. Don't you think it's a little weird that they kind of gave away their big secret about Palpatine during Celebration?
It's a little strange, yes.
And then they're going to show him in the movie? I'm just saying, I'm a skeptic at heart, and I've known you for a long time, and I know that you are too. It wouldn't entirely surprise me if that ended up not being Palpatine.
So who is it then?
Well, we were talking earlier about Iron Man 3, the Mandarin style imposter, like a drunk, actor that was paid. It could be Palpatine that's in a new body.
What if it's one of his like TV face droids that got put in a cloak for some reason?
Oh, the Sentinel droids?
Yeah.
I'd be pretty pissed, but it's it could be. There are rumors flying around about whether or not the actor from Doctor Who is in this movie. I can't remember his name. Matt Smith, maybe.
I think that's right.
Because he was cast in the movie and then he wasn't, and they asked him about it. And he said, "I'm not in the movie." But when the fuck does that mean anything? There are some rumors about him being a young Palpatine, a la Star Wars Legends.
I wouldn't mind a flashback necessarily
With Rey.
I would mind that. Like,
unless we find out that she is a clone that he had, but then she's holding Luke's old lightsaber, so it's very unlikely.
There's lots of it's complicated, but from the deepest, darkest part of my being, I sincerely hope Rey is not a Palpatine. I hope she's not a Skywalker. I hope she's not a Kenobi.
Mm-hmm.
I hope she's not a Jin. I hope she's not a Dooku. I hope
Windu.
she's just not connected
unlikely
to anybody.
Yeah, I do. I think we're in agreement on that. And I don't think that a flashback would... her being a clone doesn't mean that she's a clone of Palpatine, just a clone that he had of someone.
She's a clone of Shmi Skywalker.
Yeah, or she does she does look like her a little bit.
Vaguely.
Got the dark hair, she's kind of slender. And
you feel like tilt your head and squint a little bit.
If you're like super drunk. Who knows? Anyway, all we're saying, guys, is that I know that you want to say it's Palpatine. It looks like Palpatine.
I want to say it's Palpatine too.
Look, we see what you're seeing. It's probably not Palpatine. That's all I'm saying. It's probably something else. You're talking about J.J. Abrams, who is notorious for being like, oh, you think it's going to be this? Well, fuck off. Now it's this.
I wouldn't go so far as to say it's probably not Palpatine. I would say it's maybe not Palpatine.
Yeah, it's likely. It's likely that it's... Or not, I guess not likely. It's absolutely possible that it is something else.
I agree with that statement.
So we also see a shot. It looks like it's from the same sequence of Rey. We had a little discussion about her expression, because at first I thought she looked like she was crippled with fear, but
I think she just looks confident.
I think that there's a lot of emotion. The thing that the screen grab that I paused on has a hint of a smile. The corners of her lips are turned up just a little bit. Her mouth is open. She's definitely not scared.
I defer to your judgment regarding micro expressions and stuff, but like looking at that, I don't think she's scared. I don't think she's particularly worried. She just looks like she's confident. She knows what she has to do. She's ready to go kick ass.
Or maybe she's like, fuck it, I'm joining the dark side. That's Palpatine right there. I'm here for the dark side. Give me my cookies.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's possible.
Anyway.
We didn't see Darkseid Rey in this trailer.
Yeah, we don't need to.
Is that significant?
Yeah, I think it means the sequence with Dark Rey isn't very long, which means that it's not a thing. Like, it's not a thing that is going to be a thing. It's probably some kind of dream sequence or peyote trip. Maybe
it's like Palpatine playing mind games with her and showing this could be your destiny.
Yeah, it's got to be that. Like, I don't know. It's no wonder that this movie is going to be the longest movie in Star Wars so far.
I think I pull a Seven Samurai and have an intermission in the middle of it.
That'd be pretty cool. I wouldn't mind it. So just some final thoughts about this trailer. It's a great trailer. The music is breathtaking. There's a moment in the trailer where they reprise the main Star Wars theme, but it's like it's with a horn section, and it doesn't have the same upbeat tempo that we're used to it having. It's very epic sounding.
It doesn't have very much harmony beneath it either. Like it's very stark. You hear the melody and like there's very little else happening.
Yeah, I did notice there is harmony on it. You're right that it's kind of the centerpiece of the music there, but the harmony that exists is different than the harmony we're used to hearing under that theme, which is really cool. There's a big chunk of this trailer where the music we hear is from Princess Leia's theme. It seems to kind of showcase Leia a lot indirectly.
Yeah.
Like, we see her in a couple of shots. She has a line of dialogue. We hear her theme throughout most of the trailer. So I think that the design was always that Force Awakens was going to be Han's movie, Last Jedi was going to be Luke's movie, and that Rise of Skywalker would be Leia's movie. Now, Carrie Fisher tragically passed away before they filmed Rise of Skywalker. Shortly after they finished, before Last Jedi came out. So that kind of threw a
hydro spanner in the works.
Yeah. So who knows how they kind of approach that ethos for what old school character the story kind of features.
It's Lando's movie now.
Yeah. It's just they're so limited because we know that they said that they're not using CG reconstructions of Carrie Fisher, even though she would be totally cool with it.
Probably, yeah.
I guarantee, like, somewhere there's a note written is like, if you want to make me into a cartoon and use me, just use me. But they said they weren't going to, which means that they're using footage exclusively from films that have already happened that aren't in the movies. So their options are already a little limited with what they can do. They're probably all speaking roles. I mean, I haven't heard of any of the deleted scenes that feature an action role for Leia. So, who knows what they're going to do there. Anyway, let us know what you think about this trailer. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Do you hate everything in life? Don't hate everything.
Do you agree with us?
Yeah.
Do you think we're wrong?
Are we the most amazing people in the entire world?
Probably not. But,
no, probably not.
But tell us that anyway, because we need to feel good inside.
That's true. What you should do to make us feel good inside is subscribe to our YouTube channel and comment, like our videos. Join us on Facebook. We have a really cool growing community there. We just did our first live stream there. It was really awesome. And we're also on Twitter. I think we're even on Instagram. If you're listening to this as a podcast, you already know where to find the podcast. But if you're interested in podcasts, you can find it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play,
and SoundCloud.
Yeah, right. And usually features an extended cut of our conversations, usually a little bit more,
more jokes, more bullshit.
Just me cursing a lot, probably.
Yeah.
So
just 35 minutes of Daniel cursing.
Yeah. So be excited with us about this. This is a great trailer. I think this is going to be a good movie. It's all right for you to let your guard down and think the same thing.
It's okay to like things.
Yeah. So like it with us, reach out to us. We want to talk to you. And of course, always remember.
The ability to speak does not make you intelligent. Now get out of here.